Hi, how are you guys? You excited? All right, so before we get started, I open up camp every year and I try to share a little bit of a different piece of my story. And the piece I want to share with you guys today is that I had the hardest time, the biggest hit in my business this year. In fact, it was this past quarter was the biggest hit. I lost 2 leaders, and I'm going to try not to cry. And if you know me, I pride myself on building leaders because it's where I invest my time, it's where I invest my heart. And in September, we took a family vacation to Disney, and I told my husband on the vacation, here we go with the secret, I said, I'm kind of waiting for this phone call from one of my coaches that she's gonna quit. And he's like, why would you say that? And I'm like, I don't know. I know. It's just a gut feeling. And 2 days later, when we got home, I got a Facebook message, and we got on the phone, and we cried our eyes out. And I share this because she was going through a lot of family things. She was going through a lot of personal issues, and we had a great enough relationship where she was completely honest with me and told me everything, and that she was leaving and she was going to another company. I mean, she told me everything. And we cried our eyes out. I felt completely helpless. And if you know me, I'm an obsessive problem solver. And I couldn't fix this problem. And I had to completely let it go. And I took it really hard because I felt like I failed. I felt like I failed her. I felt like I failed her family. And I didn't know how to pick myself back up from that. We're not talking about a diamond coach. We're not talking about a star diamond coach. We're talking about one of my highest SC earners, one of my highest ranked coaches, one of my highest income earners. And I just, for like 3 days, I didn't go on social media. And I just prayed, why is this happening to me? What am I doing wrong? And long story short, I put my big girl pants on, and I just said, you know what? This is a part of my story, and this is gonna be a comeback. That's what this has to mean, right? And I called out a comeback, and I went live about it. Some of you watched it, and I felt like I was on my path. Okay, here we go. And I'm doing good again. And 2 months later, I got the biggest hit I've had to date in my business. Out of the blue, another leader, her leaders, messaged me first thing in the morning and asked if I would get on a Zoom call with them. And I got sick to my stomach because I just knew. And this was a complete blindside. This was someone I had just been to an event with that I danced with all night. I had lunch, I had breakfast, I worked out with this person. This was a person that I spent 3 years with and watched her become a mom and went on Success Club trips. I took her as my guest. I took her to leadership with me. Like, I invested myself hard into her. I loved her. And when her leaders came to me and said, I think you need to know that this person's leaving, not only are they leaving, they're going to another company, and they tried to recruit me last night. It says a lot for her leaders to come to me and tell me that, for me not to be blindsided days later, for me to be ahead of the game, to be able to do damage control. Now, I'm sharing this with you because this is a part of the business. It's a part of the business that you gain people and you lose people. But I took this so hard that I literally I called her up and I called her out. And I think, what I was most upset about, I don't care if you leave. I don't care if you go build another business. I don't care. If that's what's best for you and your family, I will still be your biggest cheerleader. Yes, I will. But do not tell me you're leaving to go to another company because you can make more money. Now you're going to get me fired up, right? This person was in line to build $1 million business. She just stopped. All she had to do was keep going at the pace she was going, but she stopped. Do you know why she stopped? She stopped because she became a mom, and that's okay, because when I became a mom, I stopped too. And I remember reaching out to her, and I remember saying, hey, you're going to hit elite this year. All you have to do is this and this. And she's like, you know what? I really just don't know if I want to build a big business anymore. I want to just be a mom. And I literally was like, okay, that's a punch in the gut. And then I took a deep breath and I said, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. What can I do to help you with your team so you can take a step back and you can be a mom? So for a couple years later, for her to come around and turn around and say the opposite and then try to recruit my entire team underneath my nose, it about crushed me. I hung up the phone with her and I literally cried for like an hour straight. I felt like I failed. I felt like I failed. And I didn't know how to tell my leaders. How was I supposed to tell my other leaders that one of the top leaders in our company is leaving? I lost it. And that's just not me. And I called Arno, who's my sales director. He's not even my sales director. I haven't talked to him in a year. Like, I'm not even under him anymore. And I called him out of the blue, and I was just sobbing. He's like, I can't understand a word you're saying. And I'm like, And I told him, and he goes, okay, you're one of the strongest people I know. If anyone can turn this around, it's going to be you. And you know what? That made me mad. Because you know why? No, but seriously, I don't want to be strong. In that moment, I didn't want to be strong. I'm tired. I was tired. I was exhausted. Oh, I'm serious. And I just share that with you guys because she about broke me. And it wasn't she, and it wasn't an individual, obviously. It was a series of activities that it literally about crushed me. And I literally started going, do I know how to build this business anymore? I knew how to build it 5 years ago. Do I know how to build it anymore? Have I reached my cap? Should I be doing something else? I'm not kidding you. When you talk about limiting beliefs, those are the limiting beliefs that were coming through my mind, plummeting. And I did something. I believe everything happens for a reason. Right before I lost the first leader, I was introduced to Cody. Throughout this entire time in this journey, I was in his groups. And he relit a fire in me. And I went live in my leadership page just to talk to them, to just share my heart. It turned into this epic live. Yes? How many of you watched it? And what I realized was that I had this amazing team of people who had my back. And I just needed to get up and fight. I didn't want to fight, but I had to get up and fight for my team. I wasn't going to lose everything. And you can lose everything you have worked so hard for if you stop. And I could have if I didn't stand up and fight. So I share that with you guys because everything on social media always looks like rainbows and glitter and unicorns. And it's not. It was really hard for me. I decided to just get in my lane and work really hard and get focused and figure out what I didn't know. And I share that with you guys because you're going to go through this at some point. You're going to lose people. You're going to bring people on. You're going to lose them. You're going to invest your time, your heart, your soul into people, and they're going to leave. And it's just a part of it. But the ending to the story is, at the time, I just kept asking, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? What am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to do with this? And I feel like that's, most recently, clarity has definitely come into my path. New people that I'm working with, a whole new look on my business. Basically what God was telling me was I was getting bored. I need to pick up pace. Let's go. You got all this ambition, you got all this drive. What are you doing? Get up. It's time to go. It's time to move. And I'm the type of person, I'm all in or I'm all out. There's no middle. If I'm in the middle, I'm in trouble. Can you guys relate? And I needed to hit rock bottom to realize what I could lose if I didn't get up and start working my business like I did back in 2010 when I was on unemployment and I wasn't making any money and I had to go all in and I had to figure it out. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm proud to say that, I'm excited. I'm having fun. I love my business again. I'm obsessed with Instagram. That's what we're talking a lot about today. And this is so much more than a business, it's your life. And it's the business that you create. So, welcome to Coach Camp.